From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight is the happy hour practice from Richmond Raceway. It is the National Sim Group Cup Series. In the broadcast booth with me tonight, it is Mr. Noah Wilson. Noah, how are you?
Good, AJ. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day and hope you had good holidays as well.
I did. I had a pretty good holiday. Unfortunately, we wanted to go to Twitch and Facebook tonight, but apparently there was a slight issue with posting to certain places. We'll get that straightened out, and we'll be good to go hopefully by tomorrow night on those extra places. But with that being said, it's going to be interesting. Richmond Raceway, kind of a short track, kind of have to deal with a lot here. Going to be difficult to pass, but let's actually take it to the driver and the broadcaster that really knows a lot more about these forms of racetracks. Noah, kind of take us through what it's going to take for somebody to win here at Richmond.
Track position and figuring out how to pass. And these next-gen cars and short tracks are just not the easiest things to pass. I think we figured that out as we went on to, Nashville and as well as the road courses. They're just not easy cars to pass, but being able to hit your marks and be consistent lap after lap and not, sliding up the track, opening the window for someone behind you, it would be your sweet recipe to win here at Richmond tomorrow night.
Well, right now we only have 3 drivers that have put down a lap time. What way around this track would be best? Because we see in real life and IRL, whatever you want to call it, they don't always stick towards the bottom. They sometimes use that middle lane, and we've seen Kyle Larson even here run that outside lane. So is it like a normal racetrack where you want to use the banking as the run goes on, as you see Landon Williams in the 88 do just that pretty much?
Typically, you want to just, like I said earlier, stay in that yellow line and not open up the window, but you can, if it's there, to use that higher line as a good defensive because it's hard to pass and you can get that run coming off the corners. I know in the past with the old Gen 6 cars, you could run that top line up there against the wall to defend, but I just don't think it's really there with these cars. I mean, you might see guys give it a shot to at least defend, but I wouldn't use it as a line to run someone down or to put up faster lap times. I would stay down there the yellow line if you're really leading long in the run, but if you find yourself in a defensive position, it's good to stay up there and allow that person to not get a good run off the corner. You can stay in front of them.
Yeah, and just some details about the race tomorrow. It's 200 laps. It's the Nerds Doing Nerd Things 200 from Richmond Raceway. Stage 1 concludes at 40, Stage 2 concludes at 118, and the finish is going to be at that lap 200. Now, Noah, I've watched you actually run a next-gen vehicle race here during when they were running officials. How important are those Goodyear Eagles in making sure you don't burn those tires up?
Well, luckily, short tracks and these cars don't have insane tire wear, but it will slow down the pace probably about a good second, so the more you save, the better you can find yourself and being able to really stretch out the field. So, on a scale of, 1 to 10 of important, like 10 being Atlanta, 1 being Daytona, I'd probably put it like right there at 6.5, 5 in the middle. The runs probably won't be seriously long because short tracks tend to bring the most cautions, but yeah, tires are right there in the middle of importance. You need them, but you also aren't going to be in a dire need for them.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the race. I enjoy short track racing, and I think the way Bristol, as Landon Williams is just going to come off pit road, gas it a little too hard, and
Michael Eckhart moment.
But right now we only have 3 guys hitting the track for lap times. waiting for more people to join the session and get some practice underway. I have a bunch of people in the wonderful Discord right now, but let's see if we can get a word with the driver number 97, Gary Wells. Gary, it's Noah and AJ in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, my friend?
Surprised, but yes, I'm here.
You're a little surprised?
I was in the middle of talking.
Was he?
I wasn't. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gary. Well, you said we
What's
could talk.
up?
You said we could talk to you, so why don't we talk to you? How's that car feel with 30 laps on those on the car?
It feels all right. We're trying something different here because here at Richmond it likes to get tight in the center after a few laps, so we're working on adjusting that right now and kind of see where it takes us afterwards.
So, how's your track record look at Richmond Raceway? I know you probably raced here in officials or in other forms of NASCAR vehicles. How do you feel running around this race course?
I'm decent. I'm okay. I was running top 5 here in the spring NIS race, led a few laps, so I'm okay here. But I've struggled with keeping up with the track conditions as the race progresses, as more rubber gets laid down the racetrack. So it's going to be one of those things, keeping up with track conditions tomorrow. But I think right now we're getting there to where the car is driving to my liking in the middle of the corner, because right now it just wants to push tight. So and maybe part of it's me, but we're figuring that out with these new pedals and everything. So it's getting there. It's a process.
It is going to get there. It's definitely a process. But I think at the race tomorrow, it is just a night race, so you don't have to deal with the heat transition from day to night. So you do have that, at least. Now you just have to deal with the rubber and how these tires are going to wear around this 3/4 of a mile racetrack.
Yeah, the tires here can wear out pretty quickly if you're not careful. So, because I just got done doing a 20 consecutive lap run, and the tires were at 85% after a few laps. So it's gonna be a tricky one. This place is never easy. It's got its own challenges, but I think it's gonna be a fun race tomorrow.
All right, brother. Well, why don't you talk about your vehicle, because I can 100% say that I support that hashtag. So I know you're honoring somebody, and why don't you give them a little bit of love?
Yeah, this is a honoring my mom with this car. She died a couple of years ago due to colon cancer. So cancer sucks. Don't guess. Get yourself checked, especially for colon cancer. If it runs in your family and you have a history, you can actually get tested early, as I'm spinning.
Oh.
And didn't save it. That's okay. That's fine.
But you didn't hit the wall.
Check. Don't
Yeah, that's
guess.
a
I
save.
didn't. That was pretty good. You're right. So thank you for seeing where talent is. Anyways,
At not hitting the wall. Great job.
Michael Eckhart
Oh.
wouldn't hit it.
that's about where my talent lies. Anyways, no, this is just a memorial to her. And of course, we got Rocky on the deck lid too still. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, just doing a memorabilia for her, and I'm glad to be running this car. But hopefully, here in the next couple weeks, we can get back to our All-Star 15 TV colors. I'm looking forward to that.
All right, brother. Well, good luck with practice tonight. We only got about another 20-25 minutes with the live, so go get some laps. Let's see that 97 run some real fast laps around here.
All right, man. Sounds good. Catch
See
y'all
you
later.
later, brother. Noah, kind of commentate on everything Gary just said with how the track feels, how the tire wears, outside of his, saving the vehicle ability.
Well, yeah, he mentioned about being tight in the corners, and it doesn't surprise me. That tends to happen here. It's a track where you really do want to roll through the corners and not actually be aggressive in the corners with the throttle. But also, since it's nighttime, coming off turn 4, typically it's easy to lose your rear end. But with the grip that we're going to have here at Richmond under the lights, especially with rubber gets down on the track, you won't have to really worry about spinning out coming off these corners like you normally do at a day race here at Richmond when it's hot, slick, and a handful. So these guys will definitely be able to really get after it, I think, tomorrow night with all the grip that they will have, and just having these tight race cars are not going to be slipping and sliding around. So I think there'll be some beating and banging and some dooring going on tomorrow.
Well, with that, I really hope we get to some of that short track stuff. But
Feelings out the door.
I want to see the short track stuff, but then again, I really want to see them be able to race and put on a hell of a show. But as we're getting a couple more people joining the session, you know, it's looking like we're going to see a fast time tonight, looking right around that 21-9-ish area.
We saw earlier, Landon was going up on turns 3 and 4 all the way against the wall and then shooting down. That's something you want to do here for qualifying laps here at Richmond. When you come out of pit roads, you want to go all the way up to the wall, get on that gas really early. Hopefully you don't lose your rear end, because that can happen because there's too much speed carrying off the corner. But you want to get a lot of speed coming off turn 4, coming into your first lap of Richmond or here for your qualifying lap, because typically your first lap is going to be your fastest lap. So when you come off that warm-up, you want to go all the way to the wall, get as much speed you possibly can going into turn 1. You're going to brake a lot harder and a little bit earlier, but it really helps bring down the time a little bit if you do that kind of a strategy move.
Yeah, we're looking at Gary, and he's just about 2.5 tenths off of a fast lap time here, or the fastest lap time. But right in the session, it looks like we might have Dalton joining, Marco Evans joining, a couple more HSR guys. Let's take a look at Landon Williams. We're going to actually jump cockpit view.
It's like he's doing a qualifying run here. Yeah, this is also a track that we'll see guys shift down all the way down to 4th. I don't think they'll really get down to 3rd. I think that's just too slow and too low of a gear. But he's losing his rear end there.
Yeah! Oh, and
It's
it's
easy to do. It's easy to do here, even with the amount of grip you have. It's a track where if you get on the gas a little too hard, a little too early, you want to kind of straighten out that wheel as quick as you can, or else you'll find yourself going whoop-de-doos. But with it being darker, or not darker, it is darker outside, I guess you can say that. But with it being cooler on the track, it should really help lower that happening more often than not. But it's still easy to do. But here's landing up there against the wall, like I said, getting all that speed carrying off turn 4, going to go into turn 1 fast. Freaky fast.
Is this what you expect with a qualifying run? You know, ooh,
Yeah.
maybe not lose like that.
No, but yeah, that's what we should probably see tomorrow and the qualifying runs. We'll see everybody go up to the wall, going into turn 3, and then try to get all that speed they can possibly get going into turn 1.
Well, he's gonna go right back out there. You know what they say, loose is fast. So I feel like he's gonna wanna keep it the way it is and just learn how to run that car the way it is.
Yeah, because if you have a loose car early, that means your car will tighten up as the run goes on. So yeah, having a loose car is better than having a tight one. But he doesn't know this, but we're watching him constantly spin out, and he thinks he's getting away without being seen. But yeah, we're seeing it. We're watching every single spin right now. And just know, Landon, we know you race with us on Wednesdays too. So we can make fun of you there too.
Well, I can't wait to see TRL come back, but you know, we got the award show Wednesday here on All Star 15 TV, but after that, we're taking a almost 2.5 month break. First race is March 1st at Daytona in the Xfinity vehicles. Can't wait, my friend, can't wait. And are you guys recruiting soon?
Yeah, we'll be recruiting soon. We're, giving us and everybody kind of that time off right now. Obviously, myself and a couple others, we're getting ready to race 24 hours at Daytona, so I'm kind of putting my focus on that. And obviously, got to wrap everything up from the past season, like the banquet and award show tomorrow or Wednesday night. So, got to wrap that up and then give us a good, time off. And then I think around February we'll really start pushing the recruitment so we can get newer guys in and not make them have to sit down and wait as long. So, but yeah. Recruitment will probably start happening in February. We'll do a couple of races. We'll do, obviously we'll advertise on Facebook. And anybody listen to the stream that wants to come race with us on Wednesday nights, be sure to come do it. We're a big, happy family. We all get along. We all love each other, right, AJ? And we all just Just come race for $100. You don't have to spend your money. We spend our money on you.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, and you are right. You guys put on one of the best shows on the channel and on iRacing. So, TRL, Thunderstorm League of Racing. Wow, that brought me back to early 2000s there for a second. If
We
you
weren't
know, you
racing in
know.
the early 2000s. I don't know, AJ.
Oh, it was a thing on
Oh,
MTV.
yeah, it just kicked on my head. TRL, I remember. It was, isn't that what it was called? TRL?
I think so.
TRL, because
With Carson Daly.
yeah, because we're TLR. I don't know how I didn't catch that on, AJ. You've been saying it wrong for the past couple of minutes there. Because we're TLR, not TRL.
I thought I said TL. I'm an idiot. It's perfectly fine. You
Oh.
know this.
You know, I probably didn't stop either because TRL sounds very familiar to me as well. Oh, I remember back in the MTV days, parental guidance, next, all that good stuff there.
Yeah.
What we all thought was real. Dog eat dog and all that good jazz.
Oh,
Still
man.
not top. I think Drake and Josh was so far ahead of his time. Where
Well, that
teenagers.
was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, but I know it was, but I'm just sitting there thinking like if MTV were to have a TV show, I think Drake and Josh would be because it wasn't such a very kiddie show, you know.
Yeah.
It looks like nobody's on the track anymore. Looks like everybody's satisfied with what they got here, which it's not like it's a difficult track here at Richmond. I think a lot of people have a lot of drive time here. Typical, everybody. It's a track that's ran almost every single season in iRacing services, so wouldn't surprise me these guys put on a good show tomorrow because this is a very popular and common racetrack.
Well, I unfortunately am not very great here at all. I have a lot of the issues we're seeing our drivers have coming out of turn 2. You just get loose, and that's exactly what I would be dealing with too. Because for some reason, I just can't stay consistent on this is where I get on the gas pedal, or this is how hard I get on the gas pedal. But at least some of the best drivers on iRacing are having that issue too, so makes me feel a little bit better.
We have a little bit of broadcasting experience in here in these next gen cars, because I believe the first next gen car race you broadcasted at this race, you're talking to the winner.
What was the race? I know. Was it not Auto Club? What was the?
We raced here, if you remember. We raced this race in the next gen cars here at Richmond. And I came in and got a good PLR win. And that was back when these cars they didn't have that much data, and it was just weird driving these cars on short tracks. That was the last time TLR ever drove next gen car as well, which I think was the best decision we possibly could have made. But it looks like I'm sitting here watching this Rose Bowl too. It's turning into a blowout, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Their starting quarterback, unfortunately, looks like he's injured and calling it a day. You hate to see it. Hopefully, I don't think it's his last game, but it is.
For what team?
Utah. Their quarterback, Cameron Rising. I don't know if this was his last game or not, but hopefully it wasn't.
There's Marco Evans right now on his 8th lap, running a 22:55 as his fastest.
I think a lot of these guys are coming in here and just trying to figure out where their car is in the long run. I think having a good 40 to 50 lap car there is probably what we'll probably see the longest runs, possibly be 50, 60 laps. So making sure your car is dialed in around there would be a very good, place to know of where your speed is. But track position is always key too. So if you're able to get track position and have a good qualifying run and be up front, I think you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think he'd be sitting pretty too. I think tomorrow, if we stay green for a good portion of the race, you're really going to be worried about how much you're killing those tires, because it doesn't take much, and it does not take much at all to really light those suckers up.
And it's like I said, it's a very slow rolling corner, so you don't notice how much you are wearing your tires out. But once you get into that rhythm, I think you don't really feel the tire wear. You just kind of get in a good rhythm and just, if you have more tire, you'll go catch the guy. If you don't, then you won't. But this is another rhythm track. It's like Martinsville. You want to have rhythm. Bristol, you want to have rhythm. But find yourself in a good rhythm and you'll find yourself with good speed and find yourself still being able to conserve tires. Just do what you can by not sliding up the racetrack kind of like this to
Oh,
ruin
he's
your
gonna have
tire.
Jacob May right on his back bumper.
The less you can slide across the corners on the turns, the better. I think that goes for safe or anywhere. So there's someone listening to this going, well, no, duh. Listen, I'm not a professional at this. I just race a pixelated car, as JD says. Oh, and I'm sure you have good, memorable interviews over there with JD. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth, and he's
Nope.
very
never
good
do.
character. Tells you how it is and tells you how he feels. I think most people are probably upset with TLR not being here as the radioactives.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun. I wish a lot of other leagues would do stuff like that. But, it takes time. It takes
Does take time. I mean, I would love to do it for any leagues. If anybody's listening, if you want radioactives, if you're a league that runs under AJ and want them posted here or anywhere, I wouldn't mind doing it. However, I won't do it for free. But if you want some radioactives to help boost your league as well, I'd be more than glad to help and provide that for you guys. So anybody who's listening or listening later, I might say this tomorrow too as well. If you're looking to join the radioactive family, I'll do it for you, but it's gonna cost you. Nothing crazy though. We won't be over $100 or anything. I might find y'all a bundle, but I'm no surprise to see Jacob here, top 2. Even Gary's starting to figure out his car here, top 3. So,
well, but look how many laps all these guys are running. Gary's almost on lap 50. Landon's over 60.
So some of these guys, I think, I don't know if Landon's going for qualifying laps because every time we see him, we're doing this. But I think some of these guys are really getting their cars dialed in for long runs, which means it could really set up for a good race tomorrow, and that's going to be exciting. And Dalton Fredericks coming out of nowhere. He's like this, rising star. Not even just our league, but
Oh, and
this
there
league
goes
as
the
well.
88 of Landon Williams.
Try to get all he can get out of it. And what's so weird about this track too is you'll straighten out your wheel, you're going to the wall. Next thing you know, your car's like, oh, we're supposed to spin out. Zoop! It'll spin right up on you. So you're not getting loose coming off the corner. You're literally getting loose as you're trying to straighten out, which is so annoying to happen. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like, why are you spinning, car? Like, why are you doing this? We're going straight. Why do you wait till now to spin out? It's always the car's fault, AJ. It's never yours.
I know that feeling.
My gosh, why did I win the race? Stupid car.
No. When you actually win and stuff, then it's your fault.
I'm pretty sure like every time Michael hit the wall, it was never his fault. I feel like that's gonna be a weekly thing now. We got to put an Eckhart reference in. I think you need to like put some kind of thing. You know how like you have your like, yep, I'm flipping over, or yep, I'm upside down. Every time you have someone hit the wall, I'm gonna send you this, AJ, and I gotta send it to Devin as well. I'm gonna probably send you that flip of Michael at Watkins Glen. So every time someone hits the wall or crashes by themselves,
Yeah.
you can just implement that right there, and we'll just be Eckhart moment. That's what you can title it under there. Boom, Eckhart moment, and look at that. Makes your stream more fun, and one day Michael will find it, and he will be blowing up your phone. But what's ironic is Michael is not a bad driver. He's just fun to poke with.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, it's going to be the final 10, 15 minutes of tonight's broadcast.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And we are back from Richmond Raceway for the happy hour practice for the Nerds Doing Nerd Things 200. Noah Wilson up in the broadcast booth. I'm AJ Capola, and right now we got 6 drivers that have put down a lap time, and it still continues to be Landon Williams up front, followed by Jacob May, Dalton Fredericks in 3rd. 4th, Kyle Zimmer, Gary Wells in 5th, and Marco Evans in 6th. Any surprises from this group right now with lap times, Noah?
Not really. I think we're seeing who we expect to see up front, and I think everybody has top 10 speed right now, it looks like. Scott Ramler, I would assume probably be at the top of the board, so he might be the first surprise, but I'm just thinking he's getting some fresh laps in right now, so I think you might see him there. But like I said, everybody here's got speed. They're all in the top 10.
So we're going to go for another couple minutes here, because then I have to start getting ready for the Extreme Forces Racing League, their season opening race from Daytona, the Sunshine 75. It's going to be fun, going to be interesting, going to have a couple drivers in that race under the Rocky Faith Motorsports banner, a team Ryan Fry, TJ Barnier, and myself created. So it's going to be fun. Going to pay homage to our late great buddy with the team name. But right now, Scott Ramler really surprised it. Just a couple laps in, last on the leaderboard.
Yeah, he'll probably get up there. He's probably
absolutely.
He's just got to figure out what he wants right now, and it's either he wants to be 7th or he wants to be 1st.
He ain't first or last.
Exactly. In racing, nobody remembers 2nd place.
No, they do not.
Unless you're a fan of 2nd place.
But we're watching him to see him put down lap times to see if he gets faster. Well, he's gonna gain a little bit. That's gonna bump him up to 6th.
Well, I haven't seen him really do a qualifying run here. I think he's trying to hone in his setup for the race terms, not really worry about the hot lap in here, which is always a good strategy. Me, I personally go for the hot lap for a little bit, try to find speed around the racetrack. Because once you find that speed, I think you'll be able to figure out how to get around this track. Let me rewind a little bit. If you can get around this racetrack really fast by finding your speed, as tire wear goes out, you'll also find ways to still go around this track fast.
Yeah, we're watching via the chase cam on Scott Ramler. And you can see where he's picking up the throttle, where he's letting off, where he's braking. But he's turning a little later into the turns than everybody else, but just he cannot get down to that yellow line.
Yeah, that's the more you can keep their stuff down there the yellow line and coast, the better you'd probably be. I think he's like right here. This is kind of how you want to do it right there. Like that was a really good turns 3 and 4. And he might be came in a little too hot, or
well,
you
you hear the shifting, and you got to remember there's a 5-gear sequential shifter in here,
which is annoying, but that's okay. Another conversation for another day.
Let's see, does he drop it down to 4th? No, he's gonna keep it in 5th.
That's kind of weird. A lot of people, including myself, would always go up down
let's
to
go
4th.
take a look at Landon. See what Landon's doing if he drops it at all. 'Cause he's got our fastest out boy. He heard me talking about him.
Well, with higher RPMs, it's easier to spin your tires as well.
Ooh.
So that might be one thing what Scott's keeping is not shifting is because he lowers the RPM and lowers the chance of his tires spinning.
Which I would assume would save a lot of tire wear by doing that.
Oh, 100%. Especially the rear tires. You have a new follower, AJ.
Yes. All the dirt.
And so he's like, yes, because I just followed myself.
'Twas not me. But thanks for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate it.
And we need to get, you know what, if you're not subscribed to AJ already on YouTube, what are you doing? He's 30 people away from 300 subscribers. Don't you want to be part of that community that sits there and says, I remember you when you were at 200 followers, 300 followers? Don't you want to be a part of that family where you can one day consider yourself an AJ OG and be part of the elite club later in the future when AJ has 300,000 subscribers?
I can only wish.
Oh, it's going to happen. I will sell my left leg to make it happen. Good thing with these composite bodies, he'd be alright. That's a concussion, though.
Probably.
Okay, it's just virtual.
Just a virtual concussion.
Yeah. Just a fake one. Tell you what, it's kind of disappointing to watch how this Rose Bowl turned out. It was such a good game at first, but what can you say? Some things just aren't meant to be. Like me. And a lot of things. Unlike Michael.
Didn't mean to hit that.
Crashing. Now, look at this. Look at this guy. Someone with Indian T, AJ All-Star, just became a member. How about that?
I'm trying to figure out why it has my old stuff on it and not my new stuff. So I wonder if that's why.
Turning popular today. You're attracting podcasts to sponsor you now. I mean, follow you. Look at that. Scott Rimmer's also up in 3rd, so yeah.
He just bounced himself up there.
Yep.
All right, Noah, before we get going, what do you expect with the race tomorrow?
I expect not a lot of passing, but I think it's going to be a lot of close quarter racing. I think we should find ourselves with a lot of green flag runs. I don't think we'll repeat Nashville because, these cars are already built to be here and people know this track and this car combo. I think we're in for a good race. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple people go hang out with the inside wall for a couple laps or so. But other than that, I think we'll have a lot of tight, close racing considering the fact that going to be quite a bit of grip here under the lights.
Yeah, I would expect there to be quite a bit of grip as well. But for Noah, I'm AJ. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here on All Star 15 TV. It's gonna be the race, the NDNT 200 from Richmond Raceway. Be there, be squared. It's gonna be a fun, crazy slobber knocker of an event. But we're going to get ready to get the Extreme Forces Racing League underway tonight. So we'll see you on that broadcast. Peace out, everybody.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.